What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Drivers Edition. And real quick, I had a thought on my mind, or a conversation piece I feel like we need to share and have. But one of my coworkers sitting there saying he thinks it's going to be extremely hard for me to move my car because of the person that I am. And that got me to thinking more in depth about why I struggle to get rid of my car. So if you don't know, I am looking to get rid of Zeus. And there has been not some hiccups, but there has been a long drawn out process because I really haven't found anything that just significantly moved my heart or features that make me feel like I just want to jump out the window into this next vehicle. And that's been my struggle. I just wanted to get that thought process out real quick because I got to hit the road. I got somewhere to be. So right after this intro, we're going to dive into that conversation. What's up, everybody? So I know you're like, why are you so fresh and so clean, but don't lose focus of the main reason right here. I'm just leaving a business meeting because, like I said, ICNV Drivers Edition is more than just a car community. It is a business. I'm setting up some things because, yes, we are heading to SEMA. So if you're going to be out in SEMA, hopefully you'll see me. If you see me, run up, say hi, so forth. But focusing back on this conversation, the significance of it all is the more I get out and try to look at other options outside of the Corvette C8, because yes, I was looking to get rid of Zeus. I'm not going to say was because I'm still looking to get rid of Zeus. I'm finding myself in a funky place, whereas there aren't a lot of options, but there are a lot of options. If that doesn't make sense, but it does make sense, you get it one way or the other. The reason why I say there isn't a lot of options is because when you look at the fact of what the Corvette C8 does, when you go to the base C8, you're talking about 2.9 seconds for 0 to 60 times. You're talking 495 horsepower with the performance exhaust or the Z51 package. You're talking about the perfect entry-level supercar. You have an amazing sound system in the car. You have a great display. Even though many people aren't a fan of the wall of buttons, it just makes logical sense. You have a car that is completely focused around the driver. The driving and handling capabilities of the car are amazing. And that's just the base model C8. You have a hardtop convertible setup. You have a coupe version where you can actually see the engine through the back glass. This mid-engine layout, the way the weight distribution lays, the technology in this car makes it almost impossible for a rookie driver to lose control of it. And again, that's just the base C8. So when you step up to the next upgraded level, which becomes the E-Ray, it just enhances the performance already established on the base C8. You get electric modes in the front, giving you all-wheel drive capabilities. And now that 2.9 goes to 2.5, which makes it the quickest Corvette. And I say that the quickest Corvette until the ZR1 came out, but the quickest Corvette ever. So you improved upon the horsepower performance with combined horsepower from the electric motors, bumping you up to 650 horsepower. You heard me, 650. I think it's 655, but we'll just stay with 654, a rough number, because my mind's kind of going. But my point behind saying it all to you is that was just taking a step up. But then you get to the highest revving, highest horsepower producing naturally aspirated V8, which is the Z06, which takes a step down to 2.6 seconds 0 to 60, which is arguable. But this car has amazing top end power. It has a long red line. It pulls so hard, and the naturally aspirated 5.5 flat plane crank engine makes it a sound that sounds completely European, which ultimately people say they made a Ferrari better than a Ferrari. So yes, you have a lot of power and a lot of options. I mentioned these three cars at the Corvette C8 platform because that's what I find myself looking at. But I don't want a Corvette. And I'm not knocking Corvette because I say is the Corvette the only option? Because the performance these cars put down, 10.5 seconds and a quarter mile when you're looking at the E-Ray and the Z06. When you're looking at top end speed, you're talking about 196 miles per hour for one car, 183 for another. It's so much performance built into a GT car. And if you don't want to spend over 100 grand, it almost pushes the Z06 out of the way. But there are a few, and I mean a few, handful of Z06s out there listed for $99,000, $98,000. maybe one or two. But you can find multiple versions of E-Rays on the market space in the low 90s. Now, I wasn't trying to spend more than $85,000 on a car just to do something different and transition. But I find myself, when I'm comparing possible options, nothing in that price range, whether you look at a Mustang, a Porsche, which will only get you a Carrera, maybe a Carrera S, and I say maybe, depending on how far old you're willing to go. You're looking at Mercedes-Benz AMG GTSs. You're looking at possible Aston Martin DB11s. You have some options. And the beautiful thing about these options are they're all different. They're kind of all unique in their own way, but they don't match the performance options that you get with the Corvette C8. So even if I was to go to an Aston Martin DB11, let's just say a V12, because you can find them in the high 89 range, low 90s, it has more horsepower. It has a little bit more torque, but then there becomes a reliability concern. The performance factor of the car, it does have the horsepower and performance, but it doesn't handle, it doesn't stick to the ground like the C8. It's not as forgiving if you miscalculate the turn. You can easily lose control of a DB11. So you have to be an experienced driver to really push that car. And then you turn around and you get a 9-speaker 400 watt or 700 watt system. It sounds terrible. So when you look at that compared to the Corvette C8, the base C8, it's one of those struggles. Whereas, do I really want to step into it? And if I step into it, am I stepping into it because it's more of a exotic versus a better performing car? So then I look at like the Mercedes AMG GT, and I take the risk and say a GTC. I searched the lower range GTCs around 90,000, maybe the high 80s. And even with that car, again, you're talking about 0 to 60 times in 3.5 seconds. You're talking about top speeds much higher than the base C8 and even the E-Ray, but that mid-level performance is not there. Now, the luxury interior, the leather is there. The car is definitely a fun drive. I've gotten behind the wheels of like 5 of them. And every time I get behind the wheels, I'm truly engaged with the driving experience. I like the car, but overall, it's still not the C8. I don't feel as secure as I do with the C8 driving at high speeds. So if I chose to get the Mercedes, although I'm finding multiple convertibles out there, some nice packages as far as the interior, the carbon fiber and so forth, which I actually do like, the soft top versus this hard top convertible, it's a funky space for me, because I'll be honest with you, the first convertible I actually owned was a hard top convertible XLR. Then I went to a soft top with the BMW 6 Series and the first Corvette C7 I had, and they really never felt right, which is part of the reason why I just upgraded out of them. But then when I got this hard top convertible, which honestly, this is what made me pursue the C8, because I was looking at an Audi R8 convertible, but it had the soft top, and when I drove it, it just didn't feel the same as this hard top. So I chose to go to hard top, although the Audi R8 was, in my opinion, a more engaging car, a better car to own, probably a better car to retain value in the long run, which that has been proven at this point. But I really didn't go with the R8 because of the hard top drop. So now when I look at the Mercedes AMG GTC, which pushes out a little bit more horsepower, but again, it's not as fast as the C8, I feel like that soft top is partially a deterrent. I'm not sure, but I love the drive of the car. It feels smaller than what it actually looks like, and it is a fun drive. But at the end of the day, I really feel like there's a part of me that just says when you're chasing performance, the C8 is still a better option. The base C8 may be a better option. And then I look at things like a Porsche 911. I looked at a 911 when I first bought this car, and I chose this car over the 911. So to me, a 911, a Carrera S, they're really not options to consider. If I was to go Porsche route, I would have to go a Porsche turbo. And once I start looking at turbos, just being completely honest, it puts me in the 6-figure price range, which means I might as well look at a Z06, which is back to the Corvette family. So I really don't know what to say, except I really feel like if you're looking for the best car for your money, the C8 may truly be the only option. And I'm actually surprised by that, because that was not my expectation. So I'm making this video for you partially in a space where I'm just like, who would have known? I would have never guessed this is where my mind, or where I'd have been, thought I would have found myself today. That looking at a C8, or that owning the C8, was the best decision I can make in this market space. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I've even considered getting an SUV, a performance SUV, something like a Range Rover Sport, an Audi RS Q8, something in that range, just because I still want some performance. And overall, I don't think those are bad options or bad ideas. But every time I start to build a package, make a deal, take the car in for a trade appraisal and so forth, I find myself looking at it like, do I really want to walk away from it? And I don't move expeditiously like I'm trying to unload the car. So truthfully, I guess I'm looking for something to make me feel like I have to upgrade or move to the next level. And I haven't found it. But you tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you think there's a car somewhere below 100 grand that actually rivals the Corvette C8, new or used, that should be something on my radar that I'm missing? Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and thank you again for watching. ICNV Driver Edition. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the ICNV Driver Edition community. We're a community of car enthusiasts that love to drive cars to make you turn your head, that aren't your everyday people movers. But we're also an interactive community, which means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms or in the comments below, I'll do my best to respond. And if the topic you bring up is interesting enough, I may even shoot a video on it. But don't forget, we were all made in His image and given dominion over the world, which means we weren't just meant to be. So chase your dreams, build your visions, never ever give up, and embrace your own identity. It is okay to be unique. He's not done with you, and He's definitely not done with me. Embrace your gift and step into your calling. He's giving you everything you need to be the best version of you that you can possibly be. Just don't forget to stay humble, stay focused, and stay blessed. And I'll see you in these streets. Peace.